And welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of our finals here for the Challenger Qualifier. And what a game it was there. YSC somehow, Minky, taking out that game. That was...
They pulled it back. They
really did.
They got lucky.
Wow. No, a really, really nice hook from Flying Jew. Managed to secure that kill on the spoils. And that was it. Yeah. The game was pretty much done at that point from 45 minutes on. I think both teams definitely kind of feeling each other out a little bit there. Maybe shaking off, maybe some nerves, maybe just a little tired from the day. But play was like good, but I think both teams feel a little flat. And they're probably quite energized there after that game. YSSC especially, they are absolutely riding a massive wave of momentum right now.
Yeah, well done to Flying Jew. Like,
geez,
everyone on his team should just buy him a skin.
Yeah, I actually quickly messaged the manager in the game and said you should give him a raise. He's played so well. But anyway, we've got a game 2 here. We're going to be into the draft fairly shortly, and I wonder if they'll ban Thresh just for the mental thing. Be like, I don't want to go through that again.
They could pick Thresh as well.
Yeah, that's true. They could also play the Thresh. It's interesting to see what happens here, because we are going to get into at least in the first ban here in this game. Of course, ACA are on the blue side now. They'll be our blue team for this game. And at YSC over on the red side. We've swapped over. Pretty standard bans I think we're going to see from YSC again. Maybe
time. I'm going to predict the ban.
Okay, I'm ready. What is it?
Here we go. YSC, third ban Aurelia.
Okay. That's pretty safe. I guess the question is, what's the second ban? Because they've got a lot of choices. Okay. That's kind of their flex ban. They seem to always ban Lily Aurelia.
I think they could go for a Tristana ban here.
I actually really like that.
Yeah. Because Denian does not like Tristana. And Elise, okay.
They could also do the sneaky liquid cheese mid Tristana again.
Actually, sorry, Elise is one of Sybil's mains actually.
Yes, he played a really strong Elise in the games we saw him play it in.
He plays Sybil and I think Elise and Udia. I think.
That's just some pretty interesting mains.
I think so.
Kind of curious to see the Rise ban here actually. For ACA, like Jack's Rise was okay, but he's had a lot in that game. He got really picked on, just couldn't find his farm. And it definitely didn't fit into the comp, though. I almost feel like YSC picked themselves into the strong champions rather than thinking about their comp overall as a whole. Because you really have to do both when you're drafting.
Yeah, definitely. YSC like going for their comfort picks over the meta picks.
And we worked out that game, clearly. Flying Jew on that Thresh.
Just
barely is correct here. Squiggle actually takes Zillion as the first pick here, with Rise and Kha'Zix being the last 2 bans. So Zillion's back again, and YSC definitely a team that has respected Zillion, it seems like, in the series we've seen them in. So,
YSC left Maokai open thinking that ACA would take it. Instead, backfired on them, and they have Zillion now. I don't think Jack is... I don't think he really prioritizes Maokai that high, but he'll play it if it's open. Yeah,
and I think in the first game, actually, against Envy, we saw him play it. But, yeah, they're pretty happy to give it away here. And Jack seems pretty comfortable in that matchup for the most part. But Lucian's going to go here to Denny, and that's a real priority pick here for YSC at this point. And we've got Maokai there as well for Jack, which is kind of a smart pick here.
I'm guessing ACA would go for another late game comp, and YSC are going to go for another mid game comp.
Yeah, with a Zillion, you almost feel priced into late game comps, I think. It's so good at protecting your key carries that you just kind of want it.
A Mundo pick with an AP Zillion. The Mundo is like almost impossible to shut down.
That's really gross.
They could go for that. Mundo is also not too bad against
Maokai.
Yeah.
Saw that matchup earlier today, actually. I think Jack was playing Mundo. No.
Joska was playing.
Yes, and
Mundo
once he kind of hit that threshold, got the Spirit of Visage, like you mentioned, really able to turn that lane around. So that's definitely an option here. Oh man, I don't want to think about Zillion Mundo. That's disgusting. Alright, we are going to see Triss. So that doesn't surprise me too much. They could take it later, I think, because it's unlikely that Liquid Chase will play it mid again. But it's Minkuo guy might know something about League of Legends, boys and girls.
I'm the man.
It is a Mundo pick along with the Tristana there for ACA. So in that case, do you think it's probably mid-Zillion then?
Yes, I'm thinking mid-Zillion unless they counter it with something. I'm not so sure what counters Zillion. Like, he's quite a safe lane.
Yeah, he's a bully.
Yeah. So
once he hits 6, you can't kill him.
They could pick probably like Lulu or Ori, shield the bomb, mitigate some damage.
Yeah, if you have a heavy CC champion, you can actually kill him. Like, you could play something really aggressive like Annie, and probably end up killing, maybe end up killing Zillion or bullying him out of the lane. But I think a safer pick's probably better. Orianna wouldn't surprise me here.
Yeah.
Trying to think of other champions.
Ori or
Lulu
players. Not too bad.
Lulu's okay.
Against Zillion. They could also also have the option of putting Zillion in the bot lane, and the only reason why they would is if Nami isn't picked. So if they pick like Braum, for example, or like Ali, like an melee support, then then Zillion support is viable because he can poke down those melee supports.
Yep. So what do you think they've gone for the... I guess, do you think they're guessing it's AP mid and that's why?
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, Thresh is opening in here as well. And of course, Nami, like you mentioned, could also come in. Also, Evelyn's going to be joining here for Serb as well. His Jarvan is open, but he's not opting to play it. And Elise and Lee Sin are both banned here, so...
Looks like YSC trying something different here.
Following your rule. Never play the same comp twice.
Yeah. And, you know, this comp is quite strong late. Lucian and Braum actually synergize quite well in the bot lane. We could also see a Kog'Maw come out in mid lane. So a double 80 carry comp with Braum and Maokai as the front line with with E flank, sorry. And then Udia from Civil.
Yeah, those are the champion like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Kind of. Did he play Elise last game? I'm trying to remember. I think he did. Actually, I remember. He might not have.
Can't remember.
But he's has not played Udia today in the games we've seen him in.
Yeah.
And has I think at least played Jarvan and Elise this tournament. So interesting to see him go to Udia. But again, when you're down a game especially, you kind of just want to go to your comfort picks.
Yes,
play what you know.
And Spoils, Tristana is definitely his comfort pick, along with Udia on Civil. So they're going to have quite a good front line as well. Tristana's going to have decent damage, and Zillion's going to keep everyone alive. But I don't know about that comp against YSC, because YSC have a lot of AoE damage so far, with both Eve, Maokai, and well, we'll see what's coming up next. I'm assuming it's going to be Orianna, and they're going to go for flanks with Eve.
Yeah. I mean, they can kind of, like, you get some cool initiation where you go with, you know, Maokai going in with the ball and then Evelyn on the side and you can just completely wombo people. Yeah, alright, look. Mickey Bell might have played this game before. That's what he wants you to know, if you want to. Sure. It is going to be Orianna there locked in. And YSC are going to take it into the mid lane.
I am so good at this, Facial Time. I am so good at this.
Hey, man. Watch me for a reason. It's not just the charm. It's not just the charm, Mickey.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
No worries. But I actually kind of like both these team comps. I really like the Zillion with these two massive melees, because they're just super scary. You dive in, you can chrono shift them, they come back again, they never die. And speeding up Udyr especially, and Mundo actually, is quite important, because if they can get on top of the squishies in the backline, they are absolutely they tear through backlines.
Yeah. Problem with Zillion is he can only save one person.
Yeah.
And the massive AoE that YSC have really counters him quite well. So even if he does revive one person from dying, that guy's going to take like 2-3 seconds to get back up, and by then his whole team should be dead by then. Like, depending on the way the team fights go. If YSC can get a good lead, I can definitely see this game snowballing out of control. If ACA get a good lead, they're going to have to work really hard to close the game, because YSC have such good team fights. So if they ever siege, they've got to really watch out for Eve flank, for Maokai hard engage, for Orianna ball. So yeah.
So it's almost like you feel that the comps have been reversed.
Yes.
And that YSC drafted really well.
And ACA went for comfort picks.
Yeah.
Yes. That's how I
feel. That's interesting. I mean, I get, like, the comp does work, clearly. There's a lot of synergy going on, but I think it's just, like, doesn't match up well against the other team comp is what you're saying. That's fair enough. Interesting then. Kind of curious to see what happens. I mean, ACA did not have a fun laning phase. I mean, they made a swap. They probably won't do this again, so we'll probably see standard lanes here, which will, I think, maybe be a little bit more comfortable for them as well.
If ACA can shut down mid and jungle, so Eve and Ori, they'll mitigate a lot of the damage that their team comp dishes out. And if their tanks can get big while shutting down those two damage dealers, then I definitely can see them taking this game.
Okay, we'll have to see then. Going to be a pretty interesting game between the two teams. We already had a fairly dramatic game one, and of course it's a best of 3 as well, so potentially could see even more games as well. But if YSC will be our winner here for the Challenger Qualifier, and they'll go on to compete in the regional final, actually, up against the likes of some team called Legacy Esports.
Yep. And that's going to be their first right LAN. So
yes, that's true. Actually, they've they were at a SEL event earlier in the year. Actually, like a few months ago, played quite well. I think upset some teams, and yeah, I think this is a team that's really been going from strength to strength as a team. And they formed together. They've almost qualified twice now for the 2 different regional events that we've hosted, and yeah, I mean, I think ACA definitely the underdogs, but they played really well in that game. Just maybe their inexperience showing a little bit, where they couldn't quite figure out a way to close the game effectively.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of get caught up in that late game.
Yeah. But if, you know, like YSC, if a team stays together, they get better. So, you know, if ACA can stay together for next season, you know, they'll come back stronger, and they definitely have a lot of potential. All their players are quite good, quite decent. individually, and they just need to work on their team fight and their shot calling, decision making in the late game.
Yeah, and I think it's mostly decision making because strategically they seem to have a lot of actually like rather complex stuff down. The lane swaps they did in both games were really intelligent. They maybe just kind of caught themselves out a little bit in the first game here. But yeah, just in general, I think decisiveness is a quality that a lot of the challenger level teams that are not quite there, kind of breaking through that glass ceiling. That's the trait that we see often in a lot of these teams where they're really good, they've got great players, some superstars, they've got really good team chemistry, but they just can't quite convince everyone to be like, okay, now we're going to go in.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's not good in League of Legends. You absolutely want to be decisive.
Well, it's something you learn as a team.
Yeah.
And you can only get that through practice and through experience. So, you can't just tell yourself, this is the right thing. I have to do this every time. Every situation is different, and it comes down to experience. So if they stay together, I definitely can guarantee that they'll get a lot better.
And of course, they've got a game here as well. I mean, they've got 2 games actually that they'd like to win. But if they win this game, we will force a 3rd game here. So YSC are up a game here. I have to say, despite the experience, despite how well YSC have been playing in the last few months, actually just this year in general, they've really gone from strength to strength. I feel like I don't know, something didn't quite work last game. I guess you said they outdrafted themselves, which I think was a pretty clear indication. But even with the lead they had, surely they should have been able to close that game from that point onwards.
They let it slip with those 2 fights, one in the jungle and then one at the top lane. They overextended and they were in poor positions and they just got completely outplayed. Yeah,
and that's not something we expect from a team like YSC.
Yeah.
So for their sake, if they get another lead like that, hopefully they don't go clowning around for 30 minutes and have that game happen. I mean, thank goodness Flying Dew's on their team.
Yeah, it's okay.
Managed to salvage the game.
It's okay. They have Flying Dew.
I feel like you don't want to rely on the god hand of Thresh to save you every game when it's that close. But it'd be interesting to see if the way the team comps kind of shake out, the way you've gone through them, if the game stays even and it just hits a point where YSC just okay, we win now and roll through the game. Because that's another nice thing about their comp is that I feel like they almost picked to win the lane and just snowball the game in game 1, and now they'll be like, okay, we actually respect these guys now. They played a really good game against us. Let's play a real comp.
Well, they did play real comps both games, but I see where you're coming from there.
I think maybe just wanting to go back into more comfort, more team fight, and just be because it was very kind of a pick-oriented. It was a little bit weird in game 1. Didn't quite feel that YSC.
Yeah.
But, we've got Cheese now on the playmaking Oriana. We've got all sorts of shenanigans that can happen. Daniel on his comfort champion. We've got lots of good hard engage, lots of team fight. It's going to be good stuff. But we've got a long way to go here until game 3 potentially. And, of course, through this game here as well. We're in game 2 of ACA versus YSC. It's the finals of the Challenger qualifiers here for the Riot Oceania regional finals. ACA are on your left here. They are down a game up against Your Soul Schaffer on the right-hand side. We're going to have some very fun times warding them out. No, they're actually going to spot here. Don't even find Azula. Oh, that's a great Winter's Bite.
He's in trouble.
He actually, good flash. That was a really smart flash there from Azula. If he'd done it a split second later, he'd be dead.
Yeah, that was a mid flash against an 80 carry flash. Eve actually has pretty lackluster ganks unless there's a lot of CC. So ganking mid with an Ori is quite difficult, especially against a Zillion. Whereas Udyr ganking bot with Nami Trist against a Lucian with no flash is a lot more doable.
Yeah, so maybe not worth the summon a spell trade there?
Maybe not. We'll see.
Certainly something for Sybil to keep in mind here on Udyr. And it's, tracking summon a spell, especially flash, really important as a jungler. But it looks like YSC actually just used that to get some deep vision. So first time we've really seen an invade that was designed to just get vision and kind of push the enemy around. And I think ACA might have thought they were getting invaded, but they have realized YSC have left their own jungle. And they put their own wards down now on the blue side.
So YSC warded for a lane switch there. So they have one ward in the lane and one ward on the buff. Sorry.
Yep.
I can't see. Yeah. So they know where Mundo is, and they're pretty much just going to follow Mundo with Maokai. Because they don't want another lane switch.
Yeah. They didn't like it the last time. Wasn't very fun. Yeah, we're going to see Sybil here start on the red buff as Udyr. Everyone will do the same here, so both jungles will end up towards the top side of the map once the initial 2 buffs have been finished, or 2 big buffs, I should say. So be plodding along as Evelyn. I haven't actually only seen Sir play Jarvan all day, I think. So I'm kind of curious to see what his Evelyn's like.
Yeah, I think he's just switching it up. Just seeing ACA something new, something more to think about.
And you can see down the bottom, Brom Lucian getting pretty frisky here, unsurprisingly. Denian, pretty aggressive. And Drew clearly showing he's very proficient with skill shots, so there's you get a lot of value out of the Winter's Bite here. Although Nami is really, really good against a lot of these melee supports, it feels like. I mean, she's very squishy. If you get caught out, you die very quickly. But if you play it correctly, it seems like you can just outplay almost any of the melee supports on this champion.
Yeah, you really need to try and push the lane like with Nami and just harass them under tower with the heal and with the autos. Getting pushed in with Nami is quite dangerous because they can all in you. Maybe not just yet because Lucian doesn't have what's called flash.
But yeah, there's danger there. And in general, like, you just want more options. Especially when you have Tristana as well. Lanes are generally going to be pushed, so might as well use that to your advantage. Spoiler, you're going to trade back and forth. Another Winter's Bite there for Drew. In fact, going to go in there. Aquavision, I think. Okay, not too sure. Jenny may have just dodged it. But just a lot of trading here back and forth in the bottom lane. Back up towards the top. Mundo here going to be hanging out with Maokai. And as you kind of mentioned, you kind of went through this matchup before, Mickey, but maybe just again for the viewers who may have missed it earlier. What's going on here in your favorite lane?
In the Maokai versus Mundo matchup, Maokai has the advantage early. He's able to push Mundo in and harass him under tower. Although as soon as Mundo gets Spirit Visage, he's able to out-trade Maokai and out-sustain it as well. So, it's up to Maokai to really push Mundo in and keep him there, try to deny him off CS. And yeah, pretty much just, beat him to team fights pretty much.
Yep.
So the first tank to the team fight onto the back line is the better tank.
Yep. Looks like he's going to continue here. Looks like Serb's actually moved down here as Evelyn. I think Spoil knows what's up. Yep, does rocket jump out of the way. Really smart. I mean, Braum was already there trying to throw something out, but probably guessed the jungle is there as well. But Evelyn might just hang out. This could be a pretty interesting bait there. May have just wanted to wait out the rocket jump here, and they're going to go back in. Winter's Bite beautifully hit there by Flying Drew, but that's a great Aqua Prism there from Blind Turkey as well. And both supports really, really nice skill shots there to both initiate and then deflect that gank.
And heal was still up for Tristana, so I don't think Tris would have died even if he did get stunned, because he just would have healed and ran away with Nami slowing them. So, but yeah, still good use of the jungle gank there to burn Tris's flash.
Yeah, and just applying pressure here with everyone here as Sybil's up towards the top lane. Jack could be in trouble here. He uses his Q to knock with Udi, but this is a lot of damage here, and there's the flash out from Maokai. Nowhere else to really run it. There's the flash forward from Mundo. This could be first blood, and it will be, as Sybil's able to take out Jack there in the top lane. Really, really nice gank from Udi.
Udia mains? Udia mains.
Udia mains.
He's an Udia main.
Things, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much he just ran top, and no escape for Maokai there. He was too far in the lane. He had no ward vision. And he just got ganked and pretty much died. Yeah.
And Jack maybe should know better there, as it's a player that's played top for a long time. But yeah, Sybil just kind of wanders up top, picks up first blood, and that's going to make Mundo's acceleration to that Spirit Visage even easier. And of course, it's going to ease him into that lane and put him ahead once he does get to the item. Back down the bottom, we're farming up a storm. 37 to 34 CS, and counting for both here, so very even. And I mean, Tristana, you pretty much always secure your farming into Lucian, I feel. It's just a matter of, not dying. Especially in a Nami lane like this. So they're actually warding up. I don't think Udir spotted Evelyn. He just went invisible in time. I think so, maybe. Oh, I think he's trying to smite again. Yeah. He's getting in his head from last game after all the dragon steals.
So with that smite still, Surf just hit level 5. Both of them are quite even. Interesting to note that Udir actually got boots. Boots and what's it called? The
cool coat?
Yeah,
yep.
He's got cookies. So
yes.
He's 21-9 on Udia. 0-21-9. 0-21-9, sorry. So quite interesting masteries there. Might have to ask me about them sometime.
Very tanky. Doesn't want to go for the all-out aggression. Just looking back through here as well. CS lead in the mid actually kind of growing. It's 20 up now for Liquid Cheese. And counting there as well. Okay, pretty even there with Mundo as well. So everything kind of going according to plan in those lanes. But Jesus seems to be building around Zillion there. So using that Orianna advantage. Again, who's kind of got an advantage, or at least even in pretty much most of her matchups. Liquid Cheese just really punishing there. Going for the command attack level there as well. Uh-oh, Spoil. That could be trouble there. The stun will come out there. Great double bobble though coming through for Nami and Flying Drew. He'll block some stuff out, but that's about all he can do here. Just throws back a Winter's Bite. Denian wants to get aggressive once again. That's a good stun actually onto Blind Turkey. We've got to be a little bit careful. Aquaprison thankfully not back up there. Looks that will be okay. But again, this bottom lane's really intricate. There's a lot of good trading going on. Both his supports really doing work.
Yeah, and I think the YSC bot lane are really waiting for level 6 to all in the ACA bot lane. Right now, they're kind of trading, which is not really what you want to do against an army. If you trade against an army, she's just going to heal up. So what you need to do is either all in or not trade at all.
Yep.
So trades kind of hurt the bottom lane a little bit there.
That Dragon actually going to be picked up here by ACA. Quite aggressively, Liquid Cheese does flash the bubble. Good thing too. Denny actually looking for spoil. Does stun him up there. The heal does move out. Tidal Wave comes in. Good block there from Flying Jew. He's forced to flash out of the way though.
So Eve isn't here. They're just stalling for the jungler to come. Mundo tried to TP, but Maokai cancelled it. Oh,
yeah, actually Squiggle just killed him.
Yeah.
So Mundo there just coming in. That's one way to stop a TP. And then everyone just disengages off the Dragon. So it looks like without the top laners coming in, YSC don't want to go in. I'm kind of surprised ACA don't want to come in because Mundo could just recall and then be teleport down to the Dragon. But I guess after all the poke, they'll just give it up. And Spoil's kind of low in the bottom lane too. So it doesn't surprise me too much, I guess. Especially with Azula kind of low on mana. Oh, Denny. That's bad news there in the bottom lane. Blind Turkey did come back there, and so able to pick up that kill alongside Spoil. So 3-0 actually for ACA in this early game. Yeah, kind of nice, healthy 1,000 gold lead.
Swiggles Mundo into Jax's Maokai. He's doing a much better job than Josko of NV did. Josko actually lost his tower before starting to push Mundo back, but before starting to push Maokai back. But yeah, Swiggle just he caught his jungler up. He got the advantage, and he's not letting go now. So he's ahead. He has Spirit Visage. I think Maokai is in a lot of trouble top and really needs to call up a jungler or something. Yeah.
So was just around the area before getting red buff, so could look there now. Mobility boots actually for everyone before finishing Spirit of the Elder Lizard. That's quite gank heavy there. I think Serve has one plan and one plan only. Jack here just trading with Squiggle, but as you mentioned, Mickey, this lane really not happy fun times now for Jack. So he's really got quite low in the mid there. And didn't have to burn his ultimates, but Jesus really bullying this Zillion. I think he looks just way more comfortable on a champion like Oriana. Uh-oh. Looks like it'll be okay. Bubble does land there, but Denny does get out safe, and then we'll clear out the pink quarters round. Back, we're going to go straight onto this Dragon.
Cheese almost double CS of Zillion. The problem with Zillion is, if you do fall behind, it's really hard to farm, because you need to get really close to hit those bombs on the creeps. So we can only expect
great spray from Sir, but Blind Turkey's going to get taken out there as the Bronku does come in, and Sir picks up that kill there. So the first kill on the board does go to Evelyn. And that was a very quick decision there to just flash over that wall. Really nice reactions there from YSC. And a little bit out of position around Fortune with Nami, trying to ward a bit aggressively into that Dragon.
Yeah. Like last game, AC have more kills, but YSC are keeping their going lead. AC really need to focus more on objectives, I feel. Like they're focusing a lot on their kills and not spending enough time taking those Dragons and taking those towers.
See Jack. He's kind of done with this lane at this point, just waiting for Mundo to push him into the tower. Gonna AoE them down. Does this ever get better for Maokai here, or is it just kind of Mundo all the way from this point?
Definitely Mundo all the way from this point. Mundo could play the lane a bit better by denying Maokai of the CS if he does choose to push out. Because like as soon as Maokai gets far enough into the lane, Mundo is able to kill him, like just straight from the middle of the lane all the way to the tower. However, Mundo is choosing to push Maokai in, so they're even CS still. He's not utilizing that 2-0 lead that he has, which is unfortunate.
See back down the bottom. Nami going to clear out what's in the tribal shield. Oh, Serb's actually snuck his way down in here as well. Uh-oh. Oh, no, Nami. Looks like Turkey will be okay for now. But they do not know there's an everyone down here. That looks like it's just going to back off anyway. So again, first 12 minutes or so past, 4 kills, not too many. So I'm going to clear out pink wall. It's been really annoying actually on this Evelyn. She's and Azula just trade back and forth once again. Oh, great shockwave there. That looks like we'll force the ultimate out from Zillion. There is an Uni down here though. I think this might be a bait.
That Zillion was just trying to farm it. Like,
oh, Serb's now here as well. Sybil could be in trouble. Cheese is going to go in. He's a little low actually, and Azula's going to get the kill. And Serb maybe not coming quick enough. Cheese, I think, miscommunicated that to his jungler. Because he kind of got baited there by Azula with that ultimate.
Interesting to note, Sybil actually has Tiger and Phoenix stance. So when he was fighting, he actually switched between Tiger and Phoenix and was dishing out so much damage. it's really unexpected.
I mean, that might explain why his masteries are presumably quite defensive,
Yeah.
unless he's really manly and going 21-09. So he can have delicious biscuits. Have a quick squeeze at his skill maxes when we do get back around to him, but Malco right now is taking out the top lane. And again, Dex kind of just continuing to farm him. That guy's doing the cleaver thing. I mean, Jack he's not super upset with what's happening. As long as he doesn't die, he should be okay. Well, if this lane keeps resetting, as you noted, Jack is going to have more and more trouble CS. Sybil now in his own. I'm just going to clear out rates. And a pretty leisurely game here at this point. Dillian's farming up, getting his items going. Static Shiv now finished with Tristana. We've got Everest Blade and a BF Sword, interestingly, for Denian. So, kind of the economy build here.
I think Denian's going for a Ghost Blade build this game with the Iris Blade.
Right. He's gonna, oh, Azula. Another great shockwave there. Forces a flash this time. Did not have the shift back. And Liquid Cheese going very deep under the turret here. Now there's Sybil flashing over. And Cheese thinks, oh, not again. There's Comfy, but the jungler is here now. Good dissonance, actually. Will just keep him safe. But again, really nice gank timing there for Sybil. Kind of keeping Azula safe.
I know Rupee from the Dire Wolves always gets, what are those boots called? Alacrity boots.
Yep.
To reduce the movement speed slow.
Yeah.
To get against. He always rushes that, so I don't know what Sybil's going to do. Maybe he might get the MR boots instead, but we'll see what happens. But that could have easily turned into a gank if he got around that distortion, because Ori had no flash and just used ultimate.
It almost would have been nice if Zillion just put a bomb on his head as he was running in.
Yeah.
I think a little too afraid that he was hanging out under the tower. But it was a really, really nice counter game. Oh, just a nice, yeah, I guess counter game there for Sybil. But unfortunately, no dice on the gank there. And we have a really even game once again. 300 gold between these two teams. ACA in the lead by just a squidge. And I mean, I guess with that comp, they're kind of happy. And this is kind of the YSC I think we're more used to, where they're just, they'll make plays if they have space, but they're not going to overcommit to anything, and they'll wait for their objectives. They'll contest them when they're up, and otherwise they'll just patiently farm. They trust their comp.
They're waiting for the next dragon. It's up in just under, just over a minute, a bit over a minute. So I have a feeling they're going to go for a team fight there.
Their teleports will be up by that time as well, unless something very silly happens here in the top lane. Screw actually level and a half ahead here on Jack, but again, Mundo not able to punish Jack maybe as much as he'd like. Does not want to eat those cups. They hurt. Someone's cup is deadly. Now, looks like Mundo's actually backing here. I think that means they're setting up for the next dragon. Oh, never mind. He got cancelled. Azula here back in the mid lane, doing the Zillion thing, the tier plus Athene's build that we see pretty much all the time. Zillion really wants to get through his mana, gets his mana pool pretty quickly, wants to be using rewind basically every time it's on off cooldown, especially when his ultimate is on cooldown. So you need a big mana pool, need lots of CDR.
He's really trying to get that ultimate back up as much as possible.
Yeah.
Most Zillions normally go for lucidity boots after this, just to max out the CDR and then just spam mana and AT, just to get that ulti up as much as possible. You can have your ulti up like twice in a team fight, depending on your CDR and your mana.
Oh my goodness. That sounds terrifying.
That's awful.
It does. And especially with like the Mundo as well, like you mentioned, kind of going for that Super Bruiser Chrono Shift strategy. Yeah, that Squiggle's going to be all up in the carries. It's not going to be fun. Because normally, right, maybe you Chrono Shift your AD carry, they get back up, and then, everyone else is dead, so you die as well. You actually, everyone gets low in a team fight, you get AoE down, but you res a Mundo. That's actually pretty good. You can probably clean up 1v3, 1v4.
Yeah. Mundo hasn't built damage, though. He hasn't gone for...
Oh, jeez, in a bit of trouble. A great 3-man Shockwave. They will come in, but Squiggle is able to pick up that kill, and that Shockwave not going to save enough hit. Dragon now is going to be the objective for ACA. And we were expecting to fight at the next objective, but that wasn't much of a fight, unfortunately.
Mundo really has two options. He can get either Sunfire Cape or Renderings for armor. And obviously, Sunfire Cape is less HP, but it gives you more damage. So, more potential to kill people. Mundo, in this case, I think he's going either Warmogs or Renderings here. So, we won't be able to see that from him. So, it's a bit less carry potential. He'll just be a pure tank.
Oh, sir, both shooting tower dive here. Never mind. Thought twice of it here. We'll back up. But yeah, Sunfire Cape Mundo. That sounds even worse. If that's what's getting res with Zillion's Chrono Shift, I don't want to be in that game. It doesn't sound fun at all.
He's not too bad to deal with. You know, you just need either an Ignite or even a Morello is good help.
Yeah, I actually think Cheese will probably finish one up at some point in this game.
No,
no, we can't now, actually. Yeah. It's a bit awkward. We already got the Athenes. We don't really want that much CDR. It's a little too much. I don't know, actually. I guess Maokai could go in. No? Evelyn? Who's buying a Mickey? Someone's got to.
No one's getting it.
Executioner's calling?
I don't think anyone's getting anything.
Okay.
They're just going to have to rely on Ignite from Liquid Cheese.
Pro tips from Mickey Whale. Buy Maryland Open on everyone. Just going to have a push here from Spoil. Flying Jew will deflect as many bullets as he can. Trying to protect this tower. Looks like Demon has rotated back then as well. Demon actually a little late on his Infinity Edge, it seems like. Kind of split on this build. He's like he's finishing both parts in components instead of one or the other. It's very interesting here. Because he looks like he's actually going for static shift now.
Static shift.
Yeah.
Okay. So Demon is keeping his blade, Alacrity blade for the gold. Mainly because the bot lane is so passive, so he's just pretty much just farming. Yep. And he's not making it a shift until the next.
No, Zula does actually ult himself. They got Shockwave by Oriana to kick things off from Turkey. Is here now, so should be able to protect him. Actually a little bit low there as Nami throws out the tidal wave, and Udi is here as well, but that's just going to be a disengage wave. Looks like they're going to continue to try and pressure this mid turret, but Oriana with blue buff, plenty of wave clear there.
ACA have done a really good job of shutting down mid lane. Even though he has a lot of CS, he has no kills, so he's actually not that big, and you know, it'd still be very difficult for that Oriana to deal with the Mundo, and even the Udia, who are building like mainly MR. So you know, Lucian will be like pretty much the only damage source, and even Lucian.
Oh, fine. You're going very aggressive. Flash Braum ultimate actually. So that does not clip the Nami, who does flash out of the way. Sorry, Zillion who's flashed. That's good. Looks like you get the turret there in the top lane. And she's going to continue to push here. I mean, this game, eventually something has to give, right? We've had not that many kills here in the first 20 minutes of the game, but we've had a lot of push and pull here. A lot of objectives being contested over, dragons being fought, but towers are starting to break down now. The map will really open up, and if Google gets this especially, well, it looks like he will not, as Jack will return to the lane. As more as the map opens up, just the general rule, we're going to start seeing more action here. These are two pretty big teamfight teams. I guess they have different ways of fighting. And again, I think YSC is very comfortable here.
Yeah, they look very comfortable. Even though they're behind in kills, and they don't really know how much gold they're behind. They're only behind like 1k.
Yeah, which is nothing at all.
They're still playing like they're ahead.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Flying Jews just like making plays deep in the mid lane, just flash ulting. I still think they're playing like they're ahead.
Yeah. I mean, she's playing very confidently here, actually. In fact, his 2 deaths are kind of because he was playing maybe a little too confidently without appropriate ward vision. This Jack here just continues to clear out CS. Again, very even with the CS there in the top. The Warmog's now finished up for Skirgle, by the way. So big power spike there for Mundo.
So Mundo is neglecting to get armor, mainly because YFC have 3 AP damage sources and a Lucian. Lucian doesn't do much damage, much AD damage, especially if he's going Shiv and doesn't have IE yet. So nothing to fear at the moment, and even late game, with all that HP, Lucian's going to take quite a long time to shred all that damage. Plus the Zillion ult, so you know, pretty much that Mundo is going to be like very hard to kill, and YSC need to get around that by using their AoEs to kill the backline and just ignoring the Mundo and the DDR.
I mean, just in case he's picked up the chain best there as well with that last shot, so he's feeling pretty happy. Jack, interestingly, also has a Warmog. So also stacking health there on the Maokai. That's really interesting.
Well, Maokai's passive actually heals him 7%, so stacking HP isn't bad. 7% of extra 1,000 is an extra 70 HP. I'm assuming he'd get probably a Spirit Visage next to increase that healing, and just be a really big tank in teamfights as well. Yeah,
do his best Mundo impression there playing Maokai. But he's going to continue to clear things out here. Really just waiting for something to give here. I mean, Tristana's actually still farming up here, so I think ACA are pretty comfortable where this game is right now. Infinity Edge and Shiv actually were both just finished though by Denny, and this Dragon's coming up at 35 seconds. So I think if there was a time where YC wanted to fight, they really want to pressure right now, I feel like. Because they just hit some really big power spikes on a lot of their champions.
So both Tristana and Lucian They have the same amount of CS. Pretty much the same amount of gold as well. The only difference
Denny
is
here.
that
Actually going to find Blind Turkey. The damage is coming in there. Spoil's actually in as well. Does flash out of the way. Denny, a little too aggressive there, unfortunately, but the heal will get him out of it. And Tristana will force a flash out. Jack's now down here as well. The ultimate does come through for Braum. They hits on so many. Really nice disengage ultimate there. And they're going to continue chasing. Squiggle is down here. Azula's now in as well. I don't know if YSC really want to take this team fight. Just trying to slow down Squiggle. Like, this Mundo is a real problem right now. It's going to dive straight into the back now. And Jackie's trying to be tanky. Liquid Cheese picks up Blind Turkey around the back though. And Jackie's going to run himself away. Squiggle trying to kite back here. I think they're trying to chase Cheese, who's zoning out the AD carry. He's very low from the last fight, but Spoil's going to come in now as well. Cheese getting really, really low after all that, and he's going to go down to Spoil. The corner shift is actually used on Zillion though. Squiggle's doesn't have all that much health there, but everyone else kind of low on YSC as well. They're going to keep moving in there. Sybil does move in. The double kill comes in there for Spoil as he picks out Braum. Now Serb in trouble as the cleaver just misses in there as well. And a great flash over the wall from Evelyn's going to keep him safe, but I think Jack not going to last too long on this Maokai. The bomb actually looks like it's going to finish it off. Doesn't quite reduce enough damage out of that ultimate, and all said and done, I think 3 for 1 or 3 for 0 might have been the trade there. A really nice win there for ACA.
Yeah, they just don't have enough damage to shut down that front line. Media and Mondo are just too tanky. Ori and Eve went around the back and they did kill Nami and almost killed Trist. They just couldn't finish it, and then they got caught. So
Dragon there going. I think that might be Sybil's first one of the series actually. Serb did a pretty good job of keeping those away from him in the last game. I believe YSC got the first one in this game as well. But ACA after a decent gold lead now, 24 minutes in. Got about 4,000 gold in the lead. They definitely need to keep growing this though. This is the kind of comp where they want to push and keep using the strengths. You know, we talked about YSC's power spikes and how they were kind of in a good spot to fight, but I think ACA just hit way better power spikes with the Mundo, who's just almost unkillable at this point.
And the later this goes, the more trouble Lucian is going to have at killing that Mundo, especially since you just picked up a Thorn Mail. So, you know, they really need to wait for ACA to get overconfident, to, you know, overextend and to push into maybe a tower or a jungle and just, you know, actually flank them with an Eve Ori combo. I think that's the best bet now. But, you know, like I said before, Ori isn't that big. He doesn't have enough AP to actually, like, you know, one-hit someone. So they really need to get Ori farmed more and give him some kills. They need kills. Yeah,
I mean, and the thing is, it's been a very, like, farm-heavy game for both these teams. You know, we've had some contests over objectives, but both teams, you know, there's no one really in this game that's gotten off to a kill lead. Only now do we just get, like, I think we had 4 kills in a couple minutes there. That we have, you know, in the first maybe 15 minutes of this game, we had the same amount of kills. So games are going slow, and I think that definitely favors ACA, at least at this point in the game, with how strong their mid game is going to be. And if they can keep YSC at arm's length and keep growing that gold lead, it's going to get harder and harder and harder for them to win the game.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, they need to act. They have a really good spot here. Oh, Spoil. Looks like down the bottom they could have some trouble in Paradise. There's Spoil getting quite low. He's getting 3-man ganked. Actually, Danny's going to look for the last one, and he does get the kills. The Execute does move in. Guess he was maybe thinking he could get the tower as well.
And ACA is reacting to that by going for a Baron. I don't think they have enough damage here. With Zillion, Mundo, and Udia, they're just tanky. They don't have damage back to starter, so this could be a mistake here.
Mundo's Baron damage is actually pretty high, but I think you might be right. They need maybe 1 more damage here and don't quite have it. As Udia's gone tanky here, and they're going to move in here. Oh, YSC. The orb is in there. The shockwave does come out, but Squiggle actually just kind of tanks through the face. Doesn't really matter too much. Serb in quite a bit of trouble there as the Maokai is trying to peel out everyone else. Denny knows now join the fight, and that could be the damage they need as Sybil is almost going to get stunned by Braum. Passes Squiggle diving in, but he's dead now. Does get Zillion ulted though, and that could be the turning point. Azula goes down, but he's already done his job there. Squiggle though forced to run away as the rest of YSC are coming in. And that's the 1 for 0 trade. They're only getting the Zillion, and now they're going to go into the Baron. You know what? I actually don't mind that Baron call from ACA. In fact, I don't think YSC can stay here either. And that's what they are going to get forced off as well.
ACA, they stayed on for a bit too long. As soon as they saw YSC, I think they should have backed off. Maybe even gone for a kill. But yeah, they stayed too long. And yeah, they lost the fight as a result. They're letting the game slip again. They have it. They have it in the bag pretty much. Like I said. Like last game. They had it in the bag and they're letting it slip.
We'll have to see here. Thankfully, only lost Zillion in that last team fight.
Interest on her.
Oh, Interest? Oh, that's bad. I forgot she died. I think you're here. Yeah, you can see that gold lead. You know, it's okay, but it's kind of the same as last game. 4,000 gold lead, missed fight, slip back to 3.5k.
Grabbing home guard with Tristana. I'm not sure of the reasoning of that. You know, Tristana doesn't back very often, so getting home guard on him, I don't see the point.
You can kind of jump between the empty side lanes a little faster if you need to pick up a ton of farm. So I kind of see it a little bit because you can push waves very quickly as Trist at this point as well. But
Questionable decision.
It's interesting. It's fun. I don't know. I think that's a sweet name. Zoom around everywhere. Right. I think regardless of potentially not Minky Well approved boot enchantments, we definitely need to see just some more proactiveness here from ACA. I mean, YSC's, they've definitely forced themselves back into sort of a defensive posture. Got the 80 carry killed down the bottom. It was a great Baron call, actually, to go rush over and at least attempt it, but it was thwarted by YSC. They do get the bottom tower down. I think they should honestly just be doing more sieging. I'm actually spoiling to go quite aggressive in their serve, looking for a flank around the side, but Denny is actually in trouble there. Good Romar's going to keep him safe. The bubble does just miss. As everyone dashes out of the way. Now Azula actually in trouble. Has to be careful there, and Zillion does not want to have to use the ultimate on himself.
Azula just laying the hurt on Denian. You know, they have Nami, so Nami can heal him back up. On the side of YSC, they have nothing to give Denian sustain, so pretty much just made that trade.
Going to force him back there as well. And ACA going to continue pressuring here, I think. I like the tier 2 turret in bottom here. I actually quite like the 1-4. Oh, Shockwave. Cheese was trying to get Blind Turkey. He's going to lose his blue buff now as well. Just add insult to injury. And this is, I think, more of what we like.
Back.
Very aggressive from ACA. Oh, Jude. Could be in a bit of trouble. Does get bubbled. Oriana, though, in trouble. That's Spore getting very aggressive there on Triss. Serb, they're trying to defend everyone else. Oh, there's a flash from Super. That's very aggressive. Cheese taking a lot of damage there. He's good down to the time bomb, it looks like. And does go down to Azula. That damage from the AP Zillion, really nice there. And a good disengage Aqua Prison as well. So there's a kill for SEA. There's an opening.
And that flash stun by Silver's Udia there, you don't see that every day. He just dives right into the tower. Doesn't care.
Just a matter of getting more from this point. You know, they got the kill. They need to convert it to an objective. We've got Skriggle, it looks like, just hammering away at the top lane turret as much as he can. But they need to, you know, put some pressure elsewhere.
Dragon's up in 10 seconds. They're waiting for that.
Hey, that's a pretty good objective. I think they'll be happy with that.
Zillion still had ulti. They probably could have taken mid tower as well before going to Dragon. They chose not to, so...
Pretty safe call here. Yeah, I can just wait for Dragon. Don't normally see teams waiting for Dragon. Usually want to show up as it spawns or after it spawns. Shortly after it spawns, mind you. Happy to wait here. And YSC will continue just playing defensively here. Well, Last Whisper for Denny might start making a little bit more of a difference, but Mundo is still going to be quite tricky to get through.
Similar to last game, ACA have the lead. They have better team fights at the moment, and you know, they really need to close the game this time instead of letting it go to late game like before and just
and potentially having a mistake happen that cost them the game. Yeah, Blind actually rotating up here. Squiggle could be in trouble actually. He's almost going to get stunned. There we go, nice Winter's Bite. But Mundo pretty tanky at this point, and Maokai Braum is not exactly the most damage. Mundo does pop the ultimate, so they do get that, but it's on a pretty short cooldown at this point in the game. And Squiggle, the nuisance that he is, actually did take the tower in top as well.
That whole skirmish didn't really result to anything.
No.
Mundo will have his ulti up soon. And
oh, look at Cheese. He is getting real antsy for these ultimates. That's twice he's missed in a row now. Very rare for this player, who's definitely known for being the playmaker here for his team. In fact, Tristan is down the bottom lane split pushing as well. YSC feel a little bit flustered here in this game.
Yeah, they don't seem to be playing as well as they normally do. I think Cheese being at 1-4, he's not really used to playing from that position. He's used to being ahead or at least even. And yeah, he's just making a few mistakes here and there.
I mean, he has so much CS that he's not really that far behind either. I mean, the goal difference in this game is still pretty minimal here at 31 minutes. About 6k or so between the two teams. Well, more like 7 now. ACA have kind of grown their gold pretty nicely, actually, in about the last 10 minutes or so. But I mean, Cheesy's got so much CS, he's done well, he's picking up his items. But yeah, it's almost like, yeah, he's frustrated with how he's not fed enough. So he wants to try and get himself some kills.
So Denian has Last Whisper, IE, and Shift now. I think he should try to get a Blade of the Ruin King next, just to peel off the Mundo and the Udia, who have such high HP.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to get enough done if he doesn't. That Last Whisper Blade combo. I mean, Last Whisper are pretty popular in general, but when you couple it with a Blade, you really do start treading tanks down, especially if you can crit them as well. Although some of the tanks probably have the reduced critical strike mastery. So. Okay, mastery.
I actually don't get that mastery.
Really?
Yes.
I'm bad at math, so I don't do it. So I have no idea if it's actually worth it or not. It seems sweet.
It does, it does. Maybe I should consider it.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, not that Infinity is running around, but regardless, I mean, Lucian's not going to put a dent in these massive tanks if he doesn't get that blade. So definitely I agree that the blade's going to be up. And in fact, he agrees with me also. This is the build water cutlass on Lucian already.
Yeah.
He's listening to you, Mickey. He knows. He can hear your presence. Baron now is going to be started actually by ACA.
That's a sneaky Baron too.
Oh man, they love their sneaky Barons, this team. And this one's really sneaky. In fact, Serb's all the way down near the, trying to flank Zillion.
So they have 3 around mid, and now there's too many Barons. It's quite clever.
Yeah, really, really smart. ACA are going to get Baron. And YC are like, uh-oh. That's not what we wanted at all. Now Squiggle's on the prowl. Does hit Cheese there. And Cheese does not have his ultimate, by the way. He actually used it in mid trying to get a pick and did not get one. So there's a tower dive going to move in now as well. That's very aggressive tower dive here actually from ACA. Squiggle though is taking so much damage here on this Mundo. It's absolutely ridiculous. But he does move himself away. ACA will reset the fight. Good bubble there onto Cheese. And again, just poking. Cheese has no mana or no ult, so they can really take their time here and just abuse the Baron buff regen. And, I mean, this is the position I think ACA wanted. Not quite the way I thought they were going to get into it, but this is a good spot for them now. Pressuring towers with the Baron buff, keeping YC back in their base.
Yeah, they pretty much got that Baron and that mid tower free. It's very nice for them controlling the vision, and then just putting through mid and taking that Baron 2-man. Well done.
It's still it's good, but they as you keep noting, I think Mickey, they have to keep going. Like they don't want to do what happened last game. They need to close out this game, and closing out games is actually it's a real skill. And as you said, it's something that really comes with being a team for longer and having experience in different situations and knowing as a team how you're supposed to close out the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that Mundo and that Udio is just such a solid front line. It's really hard to get around it. And YC really need to find a way, like, just around. Like, they need to just get some vision control, wait for them to push, and Eve really needs to go all in here. Because if they just keep turtling and try to do what they did the last game, they don't have a thresh this time, so they can't actually pick off an AD carry without actually taking a risk.
I mean, they could do some really heroic roam ult maybe, but yeah, you're right. It's a lot harder to break this team comp. I think, yes, YSC does have maybe an advantage in terms of team comp, but I think the comps are much closer this game than they were in the last game. So,
yeah, YSC really need to take a risk here. Like, it can't be like last game where they just turtled and then waited for a pick, because it won't happen this game. They don't have the potential to find that pick. They really need a good flank.
That is the YSC way, though. Turtle forever eventually win. But I mean, I think that strategy really only works when you're confident you can actually keep the enemy team out of your base, or that they don't know how to close the game or both. And I think this time around ACA, they're going to know how to close this game.
Okay, so Eve's in position for a flank now. She's getting ready. She's waiting until they hit the tower.
Going in. Around the side is going to go in now. There's the flank around the side. It's actually diving on the spoils. They're trying to get that kill. The Oriana Turk only hitting blind Turkey though, unfortunately. Now they're kind of forced to kite their way back under their tower. Denny though getting decent hits out of the Sybil. Squiggle though is so tanky. That Marco's in the middle. Trying to soak up as much damage as he can. Squiggle getting very low. Takes the tower. It does live though. Forced to turn off the burning agony before accidentally killing himself. And now Jack taking quite a bit of damage. But Oriana's going to protect him as best he can. And somehow, in and amongst all that chaos, no one is dead. But ACA still have that Baron buff. Blind Turk is actually going to pick up those. Denny and gets that kill.
Swiggle actually had Zillion ulti on him and didn't die, which is unfortunate. Another thing was that Eve went in and didn't ulti. He went in and he EQ'd the Tristana before ulting the whole team. So the Tristana just jumped away.
Well, actually Serb could be in trouble here. Sybil's chasing in the time of it. Should finish it there in Serbia. He knows, yeah. Do try, but unfortunately that does not block him. Not a projectile he can block, unfortunately. Jenny going real deep around Squiggle. Flashes very aggressively over the top. Now Sybil could be in trouble, but does actually have the Zillion ult on. Now Jack actually looking to re-engage this fight. He spoils everything, just flash out of the way on Trist. Now Cheese is going to try and chase down the Sudio. But Squiggle's into defense. Should be okay. And again, only one killer piece there for each team. With Serb going down there for Blind Turkey. Oh man, Squiggle looking to be aggressive. Again, maybe a little too far forward here. But Spoils does pick up Dragon in and amongst all the mess. 10k gold lead now for ACA. They have broken the base. I believe they got mid inhibitor, but it's open for it if they didn't know. They didn't quite get it. Yeah, but it's open.
YSC had the perfect scenario that they got a perfect flank on the Eve. Mundo wasn't there yet. But then they just fell through because Ori only hit one person with the ulti. Eve only hit 2. So they can try again. I mean, they haven't lost much from that.
Yeah, I mean, they can, but the gold lead still, they're just so far behind.
Yeah.
I mean, YSC, they're going to keep turtling. This is definitely a team that keeps playing, but that was maybe the best chance they were going to get in this game. And right now, they're just going to have to wait again. Barrymouth is running out here for ACA. And it would not be a YSC game without 2 40-minute epics, at least. In fact, if all goes well, ACA will win this game and we'll have an 80-minute game 3. That's the true YSC way. I'm sorry, Mickey. If you had plans for the evening, I may have just jinxed them.
That's okay. That's okay. Imagine being a player on YSC, though. Every game would just so stressful.
Hey, man. Maybe it's part of why they have grown so quickly as a team. Constantly being put in really high-pressure situations. I've come out on top most of the time there as well. They're trying to block the trip damage, but Spoil's just really getting in there. Despite Unbreakable being active, Spoil actually gets due to 1/3 health. This is just a brute force play here. The Mundo is going to get ulted here as well. The Tidal Wave does move in, and they're going to keep moving in now. Damage. Denian trying to kill Squiggle, but he's so tanky here, and Spoil just in the back doing whatever he can. Jack actually tanking quite nicely here. Denian, though, not taking too much damage. A beautiful Aqua Prison is going to land, and double kill for Spoils comes out there as well, and that might be enough here in this fight. Udyr running forward. They did have the Zillion ult on him, so he's going to be okay. Double kill for Zillion actually as the bombs go off. And that looks like it's going to be enough here, Mickey. She's the only one left. The Nexus Tower is falling left, right, and center. A 40-minute game 2. ACA going to pick this one up. And that means we're going to have quite the game 3 here.
Good game.
For our Challenger final. Yeah, another really good game. And ACA this time did not let their lead slip.
Yeah, what they did was that the jungle matchup won this time. So Sybil really did a lot of work throughout the game. He was 0-0-6. He snowballed mid and top, and bot was just left to farm. And Tristana's obviously better than Lucy in late game, so she scaled, but also the other 2 lanes scaled quite well. Zillion made it through lane phase without dying, got 2 kills as well because of Udyr, and Orianna and Eve were behind and couldn't kill the front line at all. And they weren't able to get to the back line either. So unfortunate, but YSC 1-1 against ACA.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a short break, but when we get back, we'll have game 3 between YSC and oh my goodness, it keeps happening to my brain. The games have been so epic that I can't remember team names. ACA.
Hey, beautiful.
We still on for dinner?
Pepper, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, right?
How about 8:30 at the vegan place?
Actually, I'm in the mood for barbecue.
Sounds good.
Take a call and stay in the game. With the Plantronics rig, headset, and mixer, life comes to games like never before.
Well, welcome back, everyone. It is our last game of the evening, unfortunately, here for the the Oceanic Regional Finals here, the Challenger Qualifier, as we have Game 3 between YSC and ACA. My name is Julian Pastry Time Carr, and I'll be joined for the last time in this game by Arn Minkiewel Trin. Did I say it right this time?
Yes, mate, you did. Thank you very much.
It's been a fun night, Minky. It's been great having you, actually. Thank you so much for coming along.
Yeah, I've been enjoying myself very much.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Hope you guys have been enjoying it too on stream. But we do have one more game here, of course, between these two teams, and we've had two pretty epic games so far. So this third game could be a long one, boys and girls. Maybe if you're at home, go to the bathroom now because you may not get a chance. Because the YSC are definitely known for playing some longer games. We've had two pretty epic 40-minute games, and I guess ACA may be thinking that they're a little sad they're not actually already through because they kind of had game one in the bag.
Yeah.
They got stolen away from them by some thresh.
Either way, whoever wins this next game, the other team will be sad.
Oh, yeah.
They both have equally like a good chance of winning, and they both 1-1. So, you know, when games are this close, when series are this close, like it's only leads to disappointment if you lose.
Yeah. And I think that the draft is going to be really, really important because it seems like in both cases the teams have sort of not won purely based on picks and bans, but the way the games have shaken out, the draft has mattered a lot when it's come down to sort of the mid and the late game scenarios. So,
I really think that Liquid Cheese is maybe a bit pressured, a bit tense because he's not playing to the best of his ability. I have a feeling he might go for something like Ziggs, a 4-back champion, a really safe champion, and just play it out. That's just my guess.
Okay, we'll have to see here. Nidalee and Elise, the first two bans here for YSC, who are on the blue side, of course, for our last game. ACA, Kha'Zix, and Lee Sin, their first two bans. So pretty standard, nothing really changing here between these games. I do like sort of the adaptation of players starting to ban out Sybil's Elise, but he did go to Udyr as comfort pick before and did quite well, and I love this ban from YSC.
Tristana.
Goodbye, Tristana.
Yep. And they left Aurelia open, so Sugo is an Aurelia main, so they just got to watch out for that.
Yep, and actually go for Zillion here, potentially giving Lucian away. That's really interesting. But again, these teams, if you prioritize Zillion as a team, you almost always first pick up ban him.
Yeah. Yes.
So this is what happened last time. YSC were on the red side, sorry, didn't ban Zillion, and then first pick Zillion on the blue side. And they won that game, so we'll see what happens here.
So ACA have the opportunity to pick now either Orianna to counter that Zillion. They could pick Aurelia because she's up. They could pick Maokai. They could pick Lucian. They have a lot of choices here, so they really got to see what they want to do here and like what kind of comp they want to really win this game. I think a lot of this game is going to ride on draft phase.
For sure. And I think with the way YSC have kind of used their bans in almost all the games we've seen them in today, Jack seems to hate playing against Aurelia. So it would almost make sense to pick it up, but instead we may just go, and this would be interesting if they do decide for these picks. I mean, AD carry is not super surprising, and it is going to be Corki Mundo. There we go, just making sure. But the players didn't make any last-minute swaps. But Corki's kind of cool. Like, again, Trista's gone, so I guess Spoil's going to a different carry. And we saw First Mate do this actually when Trista's banned. He went to Corki. But Squiggle is almost denying the Udyr Zillion that won them the last game and making sure YSC don't have access to that combo.
Yeah. Looks like ACA are going for more comfort picks this time around for their third game. They're going to what they know. They could be going for a poke comp with Mundo and Mundo and Corki. Zillion again has no sustain, has no shield, so he's quite susceptible to poke comps. If you were to ulti someone with Zillion, they could pretty much just disengage and then keep poking. Yep. So yeah, it's quite a strong, quite a legitimate counter to the Zillion there.
Yep, looks like Jack might be taking Maokai into the top lane as well. He just played this matchup actually on Maokai. Did a fine job. But looks like he's happy to visit this again. I'm really interested that Squiggle didn't take the Aurelia there. I mean, if you want to play Comfort Champion, surely. Yeah. You want to play Aurelia. But instead, it's Lucian once again for Denny and Maokai this time for Jack in the top lane.
And Jack has played Maokai in the last 3 games, I believe now.
Not the last one, because he's playing Mundo. Wait, was he playing? No, he was playing Maokai. You're right. Sorry. Yes. Excuse me. I forgot. Sorry, I thought they'd reversed the matchup, but instead they're actually playing the exact same matchup from last game. My bad.
So he would have played it.
This is why he's here, ladies and gentlemen. By the way.
Looks like an Ori hover.
Yeah, kind of makes sense here. Again, seems like the teams are opting into a lot of the matchups we've already seen in the last 2 games here. I mean, when you draft a champion like Zillion, you have a very specific plan of what you want Zillion to do. And it's not keep Lucian alive, I don't think. Like, it's cool that you can keep your carry alive, but it's not like some super high damage hyper carry you're trying to protect here. I do like this Nami pick, actually, from Blind Turkey. Really nice Nami play in the last game. And I don't know, does that mean Juke has to play Thresh? I mean, not Thresh, Brom. Because of all the interactions you get. I mean, I feel like it's not even that... I think it's that good. It's cool you can block Tidal Wave, you can block some stuff, but Aqua Prison still pretty much works as intended, even against Unbreakable. You get punished a lot, I feel like. Oh, man. Now that would be a pick. And Oriana, of course, as well, is here for ACA.
Rengar. I see. Okay, so they're putting Zilean as support against Nami,
which is what you told them not to do.
Well, I think...
You're not a fan.
I have no words.
I have no words.
However, because Oriana is accounted to Zilean, it's valid.
Yeah.
So they gave Liquid Cheese the advantage in the lane. They gave him a Syndra against an Ori.
It's not a counter matchup, but it's definitely a favor matchup.
Yes,
I feel like
yes,
with Syndra at least. So that's cool. And looks like maybe Usopp will go back to Udyr. It would make sense. No other real junglers to play. But that is going to mean Serb's moving Rengar, which I think he played one today.
If he does lock in Udyr, the mid lane for ACA needs to be very careful. So Azula and Sybil really need to communicate really well because Liquid Cheese on Syndra and Serb on Rengar have much more killing potential than the Udyr and the Ori. So they really need to be careful not to feed that lane, because if that lane starts snowballing, the rest of the game is going to be, quite predictable.
And I like seeing Cheese on an aggressive AP mid here, I think. You know, Oriana's great. He's a fantastic Ori player, but I think he just really wants to kill people after that last game. And
Azula in the first game, he was really good early, but towards the late game, he started feeling the pressure and he started missing a lot of the ultis. Especially like Good Cheese last game as well. He started missing a lot of ultis as well. So they just need to pull their head in just for the very end, close the games off with some really good ultis, hit 3 or 4 people and just win the game.
Yeah, so again, we've kind of reversed comps between teams. This is basically the comp that YSC took into the last game.
Yeah.
And YSC have a very similar style comp to AC. Not quite the same, the Mundo's not there, but big tanky, scary jungler, tanks in the top, Zilean.
We haven't seen much diversity in picks today.
No, actually. I mean, it feels like we've seen lots of different drafts, but it's instead of seeing pick diversity, we've just seen teams are just picking comps, and the draft is determining which comp you play, and then you just kind of naturally pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like once the 6 bands are done, you have your 10 champions already decided almost, it feels like. But it's interesting. But maybe not very exciting. I don't know. It's the metagame's in an interesting place. I think it's a lot of... a lot of people are prepping for Worlds, obviously. Obviously, we have big tournaments coming up here as well at the end of the year. Oceanic. Feels like a lot of teams are trying to figure out, the meta in time. Maybe keeping some stuff secret. So maybe it's not as many pros are streaming right now. Not as many pro teams are playing actually, because they're all scrimming. So, and the qualifiers are coming to an end for Worlds all around the world.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. There's not as much information, and the patch isn't changing. So it's gonna get a little not stagnant, but you're gonna see a lot of the same things. But I think honestly, it's not people figured it out. It's people haven't figured it out, and we don't know what to play yet.
That's a good point.
So I mean, Worlds is gonna be insane. I think a lot of teams are prepping really hard. I think we're going to see a lot of surprising stuff come out in the patch. And then, of course, we get to do it all again when the new season starts next year. So,
do you have a prediction for Worlds?
For Worlds? Not currently, no. I'm going to wait. I think we're still waiting on some qualified teams from regions. Yeah. But you guys will be able to check out possibly some World stuff coming up. So I'll probably make a prediction at some point.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. I'm sad you're not there, though.
I'm sad I'm not there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up.
That's okay.
So last game here. The game 3 between these two. Whose comp do you like, I guess, if I have to put you on the spot about it?
I really see potential in both comps.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this is the closest draft we've had between these two teams? Because it felt like we've had some slightly uneven drafts in the first 2 games.
I feel like ACA with Mundo and Udyr, they both pulled through really well last game, and if they can do the same thing, I think the ACA really have a chance this game. With that, Udyr at top lane, just waiting for the Maokai to overextend and just ganking and getting the kill, and then just Mundo just snowballing out of control again. This time, however, YSC do have Zilean, so it's going to be a lot harder to shut down the tanks like they did last game. And they don't have the hyper carry as Triss, so they have a Corki instead, which is like not very good against tanks either.
Yeah, I'm actually almost surprised that Spoils next tries to. I'm always actually surprised that Tristana players seem to default to Corki. Like that doesn't seem right to me.
They just
It's like you go from a really good early game, bad late game, great late game carry to like really good early and mid game, and that's about it.
it's more the style. Like Corki has that jump that Tristana has,
Yeah, I suppose.
and he's like long range, and Corki has this little missile things.
Feels like people are afraid to play ADs that don't have a dash or an escape.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'd rather have like Kog'Maw or Twitch, maybe. Even Jinx is not too bad.
Yeah.
You know, you got options, but people are afraid. They don't like not having their W. Get them out of trouble.
Yeah.
Jungle comes like, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's more down to practice and like being
Yeah,
a
that's
more
true
a more diverse player just like gives you all those options. But you know, if you're stuck to what you got, you might as well do what you do best.
Sure, and especially in the last game here. It's a best of 3. It's game 3 here. You definitely want to make sure you're in a comfort champions. And I think for the most part, these two teams are pretty happy with the champions they've got. It's all comfort here, pretty much. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think for YSC at least, I think Jesus Syndrome makes a big difference here. It's just a more aggressive style champion. I mean, he was bullying Zillion as Orianna before. Like, if you bully someone as Syndra now, instead of just like pushing them out of lane, getting a CS advantage, you just kill them. That's a way bigger deal. You can make way more plays with Syndra, I think.
And earlier this morning as well, when Cheese was on Syndra against Ori, he was dominating the game. He hit every stun. He was playing perfectly.
Yep.
But you know, like 9 games in, your arms are getting tired.
Yeah, and they
your
played
eyes are getting
long
tired,
games as well.
you know.
Like,
Yeah.
man, after that game 1, I would be.
Syndra's like quite a difficult champion to play. She's quite demanding. So, you know, if this game goes for long, you know.
What do you mean if this game goes long? Of course it's going long. That's why I see.
Okay.
Come on, man.
When it goes for long.
When it goes long, yeah.
He's
But I
on.
mean, that's all about experience. Like, you need to be prepared to play a long day of a tournament. They knew what was happening, and we are going to be into our last game here. YSC, our blue squad, for the final time here tonight. And ACA on the red. On the right, there'll be our red team as we move out here for level 1. So, Minky, it's been a pretty long evening. It's been absolutely fantastic covering the Challenger qualifiers here for the Oceanic Regional Finals with you. We have one more game left here. I believe it cannot be a draw. So this is our last game. I mean, if any team in Oceania is going to give us a draw, it's going to be YSC. But I sure hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, let's hope it's not a draw.
I don't even think it's possible within the game. But I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. But as we said, could be a long one here. And again, these teams, you're right, they probably are quite tired after all these games. So definitely a matter of them, you know, keeping headstrong, keeping, you know, the energy up, the morale on the team. You know, you played a lot of long best of 5s. You got to make sure you keep going because you do not get a break here. Don't want to make any mistakes.
Okay, well, looks like ACA are actually going for an invade, a late invade. So this could be another lane switch into Zillion. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. Well, I mean, was there a particular reason you'd want to lane swap into Zillion? Oh, we'll find you. Beautiful ward. Does get cleaned out, though. But he knows where they are now. The ACA will back away. And looks like Squiggle is actually recalling, so I assume he's heading up towards the top lane. I guess they wanted to make sure they had their 2v2.
Yeah. Well, Zillion lanes, they do get to level 2 first. So a bot lane that gets level 2 first is the bot lane that wins. That's how it works. So as soon as the bot lane gets to level 2, they can push in and just keep you on the tower the whole time. So a lane switch there would be ideal. You know, sure, the bot lane will get to level 2 first, but you know, there's no one there to contest it, so it's okay.
Fair enough. We're going to have an invade here, actually. Well, I see have made the way over to ACA's red buff, and Squiggle's here like, hey, what's going on? I don't like this at all. So does his smite there. Double hit level 2 as well. I think Jack almost could have... No, he didn't predict that swap because I knew that would
So another advantage of Zillion there is, as a jungler, you need to take at least one little minion to get to level 2. But they had Zillion, so he didn't need to take that.
That's actually...
Yeah, he just left it.
That's awesome, actually. Zillion's passive. It doesn't come up very often, but when it does, it's usually really important. And it's especially in the early stages of the game where it matters most. Sibildo is going to be able to clean out this red buff, so it looks like we'll have some vertical jungling here in this game. Pretty standard stuff at this point. And there we go. He's going to clean that out. We're going to clean out his blue. And then I will see what happens there from the jungle. Serve there. Does clean up his blue. It's actually needs to do one more camp, I think. He's not quite level... Actually, neither of them are quite level 3 yet. So never mind. They both need to do one. And this again. How familiar are you with the top lane here? Nothing happens. Cleaver's being thrown. Mark eyes.
Wait for a gank.
Wait for a gank. Just sit in top lane and hope your jungler comes.
Oh, Carvin.
Top lane 101.
Carvin.
Top lane 101 with Mickey Whale. You heard it here first. Here's Liquid Cheers. Take a little bit of damage. Yes, Serve though is rolling around. Azula could be in trouble. That's a great stun there from Cheese. And now Serve going to come in there. Does flash forward. Looks for the bowler. Finds it as well. And will land the snare. But Sybil is in there as well. Udu actually going to flash in on Serve and say, hey, buddy, I'm going to go. Now the teleport's coming in. They're going to go real deep here on this one. And Jack is actually going to fend that off. The bowler comes in. Maybe can look for a flash forward. Twisted events in there as well. Sybil now could go down and does. As first blood's going to go to Syndra. Absolutely fantastic play. And that teleport looked honestly a little aggressive to me. Works out beautifully for YSC.
And that was the 2v2 I was telling them to watch out for. Like, they actually had no kill potential, and Udio went in anyway. But yeah, so like it quickly turned around with the TP. If Mondo TP'd in, they would have just ran away. If Maokai TP'd in, Rengar got a kill. So yeah, they just need to be careful. Like, rather than like actually just counter ganking for kills, just counter gank for pressure and just wait for the late game, farm up. So yeah.
Well, it couldn't have gone to a better person as well, as I think Cheese is getting real frisky there in that mid lane. You can just see Oriana's health blinking red just there towards the mid. So, and this is the kind of thing that I must help Liquid Cheese here getting first blood. I mean, it feels like a player, especially after kind of a flat first 2 games where he really wants some momentum behind him.
Yeah, and he really needs to capitalize on this lead, and he probably will.
We'll see. We've said a lot of things about these games, Minky. And then some questionable things happen. Squiggle actually needs to be a little bit careful, but there's far too many minions here. It seems like we are going to have a pause. It seems like we just had a little bit of a hiccup there, but it's okay. We'll be back shortly. But yeah, a really nice call, obviously, on the whole 2v2 situation between the junglers and mids. Everyone's always so sort of ingrained in how, my mid lane and my jungler, they're stapled at the hip.
Yeah.
But I know you're thinking about it now. I know. It's okay. It's okay.
What about top lane?
It used to be. You guys used to be best friends. Not anymore.
Why is it always mid lane?
I bet when you were a mid laner and everyone's ganking top, you complained about why is it never mid lane.
Well, like that situation there, Ori was already safe. She'd already burned flash, and she was already safe. Udio went in and flashed anyway. So that was, I believe, that was a misplay there. Like he could have just kept farming. And, even cleared the wave with Oriana and then just backed off. But he went for the risky play and it costed them. Yeah,
I think maybe a bit of miscommunication as well, where Udi's like, I'm going in, and I was like, no, I don't want to go in.
Yeah.
I already went in. It wasn't fun. But unfortunately, that does cost a kill there. Squiggle should be okay, though. Not too sure who has the problem here, but I imagine one of the players maybe just having trouble with connectivity.
It did relieve a lot of pressure from top lane, though, because Swiggle was behind and he was pushed in tower. As soon as Maokai TP'd out, Swiggle was able to push the lane. So... yeah, not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, it is nice, but Dak didn't lose too much in that. In fact, he got himself an assist, actually. As we do have now playing Turkey in a whole host of double. Denian getting aggressive now as well. And there's yet another kill. And this is really what YSC want, just to get an early lead, snowball at home, and just kind of use their playmakers and use their aggression. And honestly, their strong mid-game team strength to pull them through this game here. Because honestly, I feel like after the first game in this series, they must have felt so good in the first 20 minutes, and then so bad for the next 20, and then really good in the last 3. And this feels like they never wanted to play as aggressively as they did in Game 1.
Yeah, and they're getting it back now, though. They're definitely getting it back, that aggression that they had.
And I think against a team like ACA, who definitely has a little bit less experience than you really want to get aggressive. Look at Cheese. Double buffs, actually. He's going real deep. Dark Sphearing under the turret there as well. And I mean, Oriana, this is a nightmare situation. The CS as well, starting to get a little bit out of hand. We've got 40 to 30 basically at this point, and that's going to get worse as well.
And if Syndra can keep pushing out Ori, especially since she has double buffs, get Ori off that tower and take that tower, then her and Rengar can roam around, even pick off kills with wood.
Oh man, Cheese. He's waiting to hit 6 to bad. In fact, he did just hit 6. He's going to be looking. I mean, look how far forward these Dark Spears are under this tower. The confident player. Oh, just missed that stun, but he's going to maybe go back in. Does look for the ultimate. We'll find it, though. Forced to flash out for another tower. Now Udi's here, and that's not what Cheese wanted at all. He's already used the flash. Azula very low, but he's still looking to chase. Cheese, though, does he have his team back? He might not quite have it. Yeah, oh, Juice here. Perfect time, but does not have his ultimate, though. Great stun, though, out from the Udi. And now Rengar's coming in as well. Does pick up the Orianna kill. And now Azula coming in trouble. Nami will join the party, and Sybil gets the kill there onto Cheese. But that could be yet another kill. A great bowler there landing from Sir, but the rest of the bot lane has rotated up as well. Flying Juice, a whole host of trouble as Spoil's going forward on the Corki. That time of not going to be nearly enough, and it looks like he might go down. The flash that does go through. The Tyco's blessings on it does slow him down. Now Ju could be in trouble. Can he get one more auto spoil? The heal will bounce. He needs at least one more. The Gatling gun's just out of range, and Flying Ju somehow escaping the situation. The TP's coming as well. Dodges the cleaver somehow from Mundo, and he's still going. He's speedy. Oh, there it is. Flash cleaver to the face, and Squiggle, of all people, who a champion that almost made it to his top lane, who he teleported for, does get the kill. Flying Judo with some fancy footwork almost gets out alive.
That's really unfortunate there. Liquid Cheese actually flashed in. He Q ultied, but he didn't ignite. He was out of range, and so he didn't quite finish off the Syndra. He predicted that much damage, but he didn't get that ignite off. So he was pretty much like he had to run out of the tower range, and Udio just got cleaned up. So
yeah, I mean, he flashed out, almost got away, but a really nice move there from the bottom lane of ACA, coming up to assist there in that situation.
It's just those cold, tired hands of his. He's been playing all day.
Yeah, hey, they better get warm, because he's got a game to win if he wants to go to the regional finals here for OCE. And Cheese, I think, you know, just got to shake it off. When you make a miss like that, you really just have to be like, okay, look, whatever, it's fine. Still ahead here in my lane. Rengar is in trouble somewhere. I hope it's not the jungle mobs. Serb actually made a joke about dying to raids earlier in one of the team chats.
Oh, he's really low.
Sybil Dogan, I look around the mid. Yeah, I think it actually was a jungle mob. I could see him on the minimap in his own jungle. I don't know what went wrong, but something did not mesh well with that cat. Anyways, he's gonna go home, so he'll be okay.
So Udia just denying vision of the blue side now. He's gonna steal Wraith as well. It's just Udia.
Yep, Cheese is gonna clear up minions here as well. They're just checking things out. And Sybil really trying to keep good track of Rengar. Actually ahead on CS by quite a little bit, but those that kill and those 2 assists for Rengar actually affording a very speedy Spirit of the Adulthood.
Yeah, and you can really look to see Rengar make some plays now, especially since he's almost level 6.
Yeah, he is 6 now.
Yep.
So
okay. So
the ultimate is ready.
his ulti's up. He's gonna try and make some plays now. Very interesting build by Rengar though. Most Rengars normally go the Reds. They don't finish it. They just go the Blood Razor, and they clear jungle and just build CDR and just gank.
Yep.
But he's going a more, looks like a more damage, more carry sort of orientated Rengar build. So it's quite interesting. Possibly to kind of bully out the Udyr.
Yeah, potentially. Maybe it just feels like he needs to be more of a damage threat for his team. Although his team has pretty decent damage between Syndra and Lucian. But maybe he's trying to supplement Lucian in some of the mid to late game team fights. Steady, though, to his credit, doing swimmingly in this bottom lane, by the way. Really bullying Spoil off a lot of CS here. He's 25 ahead so far. Just ulting blind turkey nonchalantly. And it seems like, you know, you kind of mentioned the bottom lane, not great here against Nami, but Jenny certainly making it work here with the Zillion support. And I think in general, you're pretty happy to play Lucian into almost anyone.
Yeah, it's getting really hard for the ACA bot lane.
Oh, Flying Jew. This must be a dive here. Blind Turkey. There's Denny going very deep there. But level 60, of course, is here for Zillion. The Serbs here as well, and Liquid Cheese. There's going to be the jump for Rengar after the flash out of his ultimate, and there's 1 kill. There's 2 as Cheese picks up the 2nd. And a really nicely executed tower dive there by YSC.
Yeah, Denny just caught all his boys, and they came first, so well done there.
I mean, unfortunately, the Sybil, yeah, just kind of hanging out around the map. Pretty hard to make it there in time. And no TP available there for Mundo either, which I'm sure Jack was communicating to his team. So more kills there for YSC. 5-2 now up in kills. And this first tower of this game will fall down now as well. So things definitely coming up YSC here. And it's exactly how they wanted this comp to start.
Yeah, and Corki down by a considerable amount of CS. 34 now. Denny will back soon, probably get an IE. Yeah, and just like pretty much just power spike and keep taking objectives.
Now,
so YSC have the lead this game, like they did the first game. They really need to snowball it and not let ACA claw back in like they normally do.
Yeah, and not rely on Drew's ridiculous thresh hook to win them game 1.
Yes.
Yeah, do have a pause again, unfortunately. It seems like players still having a couple of connectivity issues, but it seems okay. Usually, I haven't lasted too long today, so that's good. Shouldn't last too long here. Just kind of quickly taking stock of the items. So take a quick check at some gold leads here as well. Denon actually really, really far ahead in terms of gold. He's 1,000 gold or more ahead of Corky in that bottom lane, which is pretty nice. 3,800 to 2,600. 1,300 to 2,900 in the mid lane, so another 1,000 gold up there for Cheese. And it seems like we've probably got... Trying to think here. Yeah, 400 gold in bot between supports. Actually, jungle's behind, interestingly enough. Udi's been following it quite nicely. Oh, no, I'm bad at math. Never mind. He's behind by about 400 gold. I apologize.
The top lane is, however, ahead. Mundo is ahead of Maokai, and he's pushing him out of the lane as well, which is good to see.
Yeah, yeah, it seems like that switch is really being made where the Spirit Facade is almost complete here. Got most of the components for it. And we should be moving into the Mundo phase of that lane. When it just keeps getting better and better. So yeah, I learned something today about top lane. Thanks, Minky.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, I think ACA are definitely going to bank on Mundo and Udia to carry them through the late game and just be those tanks again. However, this time they don't have Tristana as like the hard damage, and again, Oriana in middle is falling behind, so she's not going to have a lot of AP. So we'll see how this goes. If the tanks do, like, you know, can actually soak a lot of damage and not die, so not feed gold, you know, they could turn some team fights around, you know, get some kills here and there, and then, you know, probably snowball this game as well. So there's lots of potential for both teams to win here. It's just about the execution. Yeah,
I mean, it's not a massive gold lead either at 11 minutes. It's, what, 3,000 gold? I mean, that's decent. You're pretty happy to be 3K just over 10 minutes up, but definitely salvageable here, for sure, by ACA. And we've seen some pretty epic games between these two already. Can't imagine it's going to be anything but there as we are. It looks like we might be getting back in momentarily. It looks like Liquid Cheese is having a connectivity issue there, which is no good when you're playing Syndra. No good at all. Seems like he is going for the Charles build, which makes a lot of sense. Pretty standard there on Syndra. I love DFG Syndra, but I accept that it's not super great.
Sorry, Pastry.
It's okay.
It's not great.
It's really awkward because you have such a long range stun, and then DFG is just like not even close to the range you want.
Sorry, mate. It's not a thing.
It's fun,
man. It used to work.
Yeah.
But like
when you're
with all the hard tanks now, like going DFG, you just can't kill anyone.
Yeah.
So I think Death Cap after Athene's is the more reliable build.
Yep.
The AoE damage and
not double Doran's Death Cap. Majai's.
That works too.
That was definitely the Minky Whale
only for
the longest time.
Only if I do it though.
Oh, I remember the days of the Minky build. Hey, what do you have a build named after? You have already something named after you in League. The Double Doran's Death Cap Majai's build.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
It was a thing. I remember. Anywho, let's see the tier actually here on Zillion as well. I didn't quite notice that until then. But, you know, makes sense. He's not going to be nearly as reliable with the super, you know, ultimates twice every team fight or anything like mid-Zillion might be, but he's going to do what he can with his farm. And Zillion is definitely mana hungry.
An interesting thing about Zillion, particularly Zillion support, he's very squishy, really easy to kill. So if you aim a Zillion support first, he's absolutely useless because he has to ulti himself.
Yep.
And as soon as Zillion ultis himself, he has no skills that help in team fights at all. No utility besides the speed, perhaps, but a speed up in an all-out team fight isn't very useful. So, if they can get a good a good insta burst on that Zillion and like make him pop his ulti, it would be a 4v5. So that's something to look out for ACA to look out for, especially if they can get the Zillion and like with the backline in like an Ori ult or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things where people are like, oh, Zillion's ult's so good. And it's like, well, not if he has to ult himself. And you're absolutely right. That's the best way to deal with Zillion. Kind of like Kale, except Kale does damage.
Yeah.
Zillion, not so much.
Yeah.
Especially when he's support, as you mentioned.
Yeah. I'm really liking the Kale pick, though. I can feel it coming back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In top lane?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Definitely.
There you go. Free information. For anyone there out sniping them legacy esports people. We are back, though, into game 3 here. YSC versus ACA still going on. Jack got quite low in the top lane there as Maokai. But it seems like he'll be okay now. And Squiggle doing Mundo things here and really starting to push that advantage that Mundo naturally has in this matchup once he kind of reaches this point. So Jack going to struggle a little bit more, but he's done this already. Managed to keep quite even in CS. Last time, we'll see if Squiggle maybe adapts his playstyle a little bit now that he is ahead in the lane. and maybe go for more of that denial of the CS that we were talking about. But the real problems here are the two kind of main carries here for YSC. Liquid Cheese and Denny are both up 1,000 gold on their lane opponents, and that's a nice little advantage here early on in the game.
Even though they're ahead, they're still like maintaining good lane pressure. You know, Oceanic can still farm, so it's not the end of the world. Dragon's up now, so they're going to try and contest that. They're really behind, so might not be a good idea just to go in.
Yeah, we'll have to see here. I mean, it's very dangerous contesting dragons once you're behind in a game, because that's usually what the enemy team wants you to do. It's like, well, we want to fight you and get more kills, but you're not doing it. You're not coming to us, so if we force to fight a dragon, then maybe you will. But at the same time, you really can't afford to give up that gold every time, because it is a valuable objective. So AC are going to have to play their fights pretty smart here. I think if they line up a good Oriole with a nice Mundo TP, or catch someone out with, I don't know, maybe a Nami, Tidal Wave, or Aqua Prison, you can definitely see fights going their way. But Corki especially looks really behind in this bottom lane. You compare the almost finished Infinity Edge to a Sheen and 2 Doran's Blades with some brown boots.
Definitely. Udia is quite strong. However, Udia pretty much scales with levels. Like, the more levels you get, his base damage is so high on his Tiger and his Phoenix stance. So, if they were to fight...
Oh man, Serb, he's going in, actually does bowl him out. A good shockwave there from Azul. Almost enough damage onto Ori, and it is there as the Dark Spear's going to come through. Really nice play. Liquid Cheese actually better get himself out of the way of Sybil. Oh, the stun misses. That's a really nice run forward there. And now find Juice in the mix. He should have his ultimate here as well. So they're going to go in, and Nudia has absolutely nowhere to go. Jude doesn't even need to use that ultimate. And that was a really nice tag team in the mid lane by YSC.
Not the 2v2 by the mid lane there. I think Udia just keeps overextending. Like, instead of just cutting his losses, he's really going in. And it's a bit of a solo queuing experience, I believe.
Quite possibly. I mean, you know, he wants to make plays for his team, but I think you're right in that he's really just in the best position if he just calms down and farms.
Yeah.
And, you know, as long as he's keeping Oriana alive by pressuring that lane, then it's good. But the Dragon is going to get started up here by YSC. This is pretty much uncontestable there for ACA. Serb actually did not smite that one. That's the first Dragon I haven't seen him smite all series, I think.
A bit of a miss-smite there, a bit early.
It's all right. I think you can be excused for that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
They still got the Dragon. It's okay.
I know that if Sybil had actually come in and sniped it, Serb would not have been happy. Especially after all the great smites he's had already.
So AC recognized that YSC didn't back and they took Dragon, so they really hurt. So they're entering with the mid tower.
Yeah, this tower's going to go down very quickly actually. Udi doing a lot of work.
Intelligent choice.
And nice. So, and that's, again, we've talked about it's really the important tower to get down is that mid-outer one. Just because it opens up so much more of the map for you. I mean, I think it's probably the one tower that opens up the most space for you. So it's pretty crucial one to get. And ACA are going to be happy to have it now.
That's going to facilitate Udia's counter jungling as well. Sybil and Udia really loves counter jungle. Oh, that's the blue there.
Good cheese. Doing things to the blue. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he pretty much just grabbed the blue and reset it. Really smart of him.
Yeah. Oh, because you can kindle it. Yeah, that makes sense. You actually see that a lot of good Syndra players are like really mindful of, even when they're getting their blue and the jungler donates it, to just drag it over and kill it, like drag it away, throw it, and then kill it as it lands, just to make sure there's no enemy jungler near it. You can see it. Oh, did he do it again?
Yeah, also when he does that, he actually denies his jungler of XP.
Which is good and bad.
Good and bad, so... yeah.
Oh, actually beautiful shockwave. They're coming in now. Flying G could be in trouble. Denny, though, will dash his way out. The teleport's coming in. A great stun there from Cheese. And now Squiggles found himself in a really uncomfortable place. And there's Jack coming in. He teleported in as well by the looks of things. And there's one twisted advance to get it done. Does not dodge the Aqua Prison, though, but forces the flash out for Nami anyway. And there's Serb over the top there with a Rango. Now Denny's going to get that kill. Serb going to keep running through that. Nazula, oh goodness, he's in a whole host of trouble here. No mana here in the Ori. No ult. A great ball there coming in for Serb. And now Sybil's in trouble under the turret as well. Denny going to go real deep looking for the triple. Does not find it. As Serb picks up that last kill. But again, the aggression here really paying off for YSC. And this is they're playing with so much more confidence now.
Serb went huge on that Rengar. He went in and was jumping from bush to bush. And with Zillion's speed up as well, he wasn't even scared because Zillion still has ult.
And Serb's Rengar mechanics have been absolutely stellar in this game. He's like flashing out of his ultimate as a gap closer. He's like nailing people with Bowler, which is actually quite important because if you don't hit it, you don't really do anything else as Rengar. but he's really sniping people with that skill. So Serb, I mean, a little bit behind, being pressured by Uda a lot from his jungle, but kind of went for this more carry-oriented style with the Brutalizer and the Elder Lizard now, and it's really paying off here for this Rengar. Serb looks fantastic for his team. It's kind of the silent hero almost.
Yeah, Serb and Liquid Cheese, they dominated bot lane, mid lane 2v2, and then they went bot lane, 4-man game, took the tower. They really controlled this game by winning that 2v2 matchup in mid. Yeah,
and that's what feels like maybe he's been missing from the first two games for YSC, is that Serb and Cheese just didn't quite feel in sync in the first two games, and here they absolutely look magic. And I think that's really, you know, what's a mid lane without a good jungler, or Serb is going to maybe find himself in unfamiliar territory. Well, it's familiar, but he's not happy about it. Flying Turkey could be in trouble, although Jack just not really when they opted in for the 1v4, though it's actually going to go anyway. Now 1v5 as Malka, but Flying Juice coming in. He's going to alter Malka. It looks like he is trying to. Yes, it's actually on him, but they don't want to kill him. Jack actually regen way too much, but Denian on a rampage picks up 1 kill there on the Turkey. And now Malka trying to cut away. Oh, Denian, no. That's not where he wants to be. The Udi's on top of him. Now the ultimate will hit. Beautiful work right there by Azula. A double kill for Denian, who was somehow survived as Corki gets the tower. Now Liquid Cheese moving in. Does get picked up there by Azula. Squiggle, though, quite low as well. Corki with the bombs moving up. Sorry, with the missiles moving out there as Jack picks up that 1 kill. Squiggle very low as well as Azula is just cutting back and forth. Denian's there to clean that up. Now Orianna could be in trouble as well. Denian does not go in for the tower, having a 3-for-1, I believe, in favor of YSC. Little messy, but they made it work.
And OC just loves to fight. Like, so the AC just
Carvin was right.
Carvin was right. Instead of just cutting their losses, ACA just went for the aggressive tower dive top. And yeah, they got punished for it.
It was beautiful to watch, though.
Yeah, it was.
It was. I think, again, YSC just seems so much better when they're playing ahead. Azula now getting served. That Rengar is winning with the ultimate, and there's no way she's getting out of that one. Actually, Sybil will be in trouble as Jack comes in there as well. Denian moving in for the damage. Just fight it. No, the flash comes in there. That's the tree. The sapling was following Sybil, but Udia pretty tanky at this point. Pops on the turtle stance, and he's okay. A really nicely timed flash to get him safe.
Yeah, very well played there by Serb. He's gone very
aggressive.
No, his build, it's very unorthodox.
Okay,
that's the word. Yeah, compared to the normal Rengars that go tanky CDR, he's just gone full damage and he's just carrying this game.
He is. Yeah, he maybe feels like he should put the team square on his back at this point. I mean, everyone's playing well, and I said, you know, they clearly look better when ahead. That's going to be true of most teams, but YSC just look comfortable when they're being aggressive. You know, and they're never overly aggressive. Well, sometimes they are, but they're never too aggressive. But when they're grouping together as a team and they're proactively doing things together, they look really good.
Yeah,
and that's a mark of a good team. Yeah, when you proactively look to work together to get objective and secure kills. The cleavers keep coming here for Squiggle. Makes that very satisfying sound. But it's not going to be enough here. The cleavers actually 9,000 gold behind our ACA. Is that YSC maybe was sick of having 2 really long games in this series. We're going to try and close this one out quite quickly. But ACA, they're holding on. And YSC do have to close strong here. They kind of made that mistake in game 1.
Well, in game 1.
Oh, sorry, in game 2.
In game 1, YSC were ahead by like around 5K, around 20 minutes. And ACA did claw back in, and you know they were winning around 30 minutes.
Yep.
Unfortunately lost, but you know there's still hope here.
There's always hope. Dragon is up though. So the ACA are going to attempt to contest this. Everyone is here though. Serb actually, I think, looking to ult in here. But they're going to go straight in. That's a blind target. The damage moves in. Carling actually goes through, and that's a kill there onto Nami. Now Sybil's actually in the mix there with Jack on top of everyone else. And the Rengar's trying to dive in there as well. Squiggle getting low there as well. Azula on the other side will get killed by Denian, who picks up his double. And then everyone else is running away now. Denian, as always, leading the charge. So aggressive. Actually got time warped by Flying Jew. He's like, send me in, boss. I'm doing it. But it's going to pick up Dragon instead. 2 clean kills and an easy drag now as well for YSC.
Rengar actually tried to flank that fight. He tried to jump in, got royalty.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, he's pretty big, and I'm pretty sure he'd be looking for some kills soon.
Sybil here kind of peel off. I mean, Orianna really behind, unfortunately. Doesn't even have the bigger half of the Death Cup recipe, just the blasting one.
Bigger half.
And Death Cup has now been finished by a Liquid Chase. So it's quite the deficit there. Jack going to return to top lane. I mean, Jack has fallen behind. He's just doing his job on Maokai. Just initiating, setting up his team, sponging all the damage, and just letting his team move in. And what a better way to set up 3 really strong damage threats here. Lucian, Rengar, and that Syndra. Uh-oh. Blind Turkey find himself at the wrong place again. Always a bad time for support team looking at ward when behind. You almost always die.
Yeah.
And then your ward gets swept and you're very sad. See?
Playing support from behind is one of the most hardest things to do. Like, you really need to get vision on the map, but like there's so many risks and so much danger, so you really need to like play really smart as a support from behind.
I have to ask you, speaking of interesting builds in this game, Denian has also kind of done something a little interesting. He's got his Infinity Edge, which we expected. He got it first. But he's got a build on a Cutlass Azeel, and he's finished his last Whisper.
Sometimes I don't know what Denian does. Every game, he's built the same items.
Oh,
just in a
good
different
ult there,
order.
but Serbo is actually going to keep going in. That's so much damage onto Azula, who does flash out of the way. A good heal, and the shield keeps him alive, but Flying Dew's in there as well. Actually, the ultimate there from Zillion on Serbo, who didn't even need it. He was able to save himself out, but another kill there onto Udyr this time for Denian. And I feel like it's maybe to shred through some of these tanks. It just feels like he knows if he can kill them, it doesn't matter, because he can already kill everyone else.
The previous game, he went, he finished off his Shiv first, and you know, it was pretty much against the same thing on Mundo.
It was weird, he kind of finished IE and Shiv at the same time.
Yeah, he must have
They bought a bunch
recognized
of components.
that this game would be better off him finishing IE and then making it
Last week.
Yeah.
I think so. Just having to ask him to say, oh, Liquid Cheese, a good dodge of the Aqua Prison action. There's the flash cleaver though. Around the side though, Denian going ham. Spoil's absolutely dead there as Denian goes legendary around the back. Now Azula getting aggressed on as well. Flying Dude, do you have his ultimate? No, he does not actually, but Denian's going to have the rest of his team. Azula does go down there as Jack. He's chasing Blind Turkey. Many flashes over the top there. I think the Maokai still chasing. Yes, Denian, never mind. Getting yet another kill there. Serb there gets a goal on Nami for the 4-0 sweep. And Sybil running around trying to get a kill maybe. Udyr trucked around. No, never mind. The surrender does come out there. ACA tapping them out. And YSC are our challenger qualifiers for the Oceanic Regional Finals.
Yeah, and well done by them. A very solid performance. They played really well on the last game.
Yeah, had a pretty good tournament. It looked a little shaky in some of their games here, but definitely a team that's just improved by leaps and bounds. Every single time we see them in a new tournament, I feel like they just get better and better. But they're definitely a team that feels like they can really threaten some of these top teams. I mean, maybe not a team that you're... I mean, obviously you're in Legacy, the defending champions at this point for Regional. You know, maybe you're not like, they're good, but we can probably beat them. But I'd be worried. They're a team that, if you underestimate them, will overpower you and surprise you.
Every team has a chance. And especially in the finals, I think every team is practicing a lot, scrimming a lot, and taking it really seriously. I mean, like, during winter, we were the underdogs as well. You know, we came fourth in autumn, so, you know, you never know. Anything can happen.
That's true. Mikuel could, in fact, potentially go to Worlds. It almost happened. The dream was almost lived. But, Mickey, in all seriousness, it's been really great to have you. Thank you so much for coming along. It's been good to have you. I guess that while you're here, if you'd like, you got some teammates, you got some sponsors, feel free to go ahead.
Shout out to everyone on Legacy, and just shout out to everyone.
There you go. Shout out to everyone. Mikuel. Well done, buddy. Yeah. Well, it looks like that is going to wrap us up. Congratulations once again to YSC for a fantastic tournament. They are your challenger qualifiers for the regional finals that will be coming out later in this year. Make sure to check that out. It's going to be a whole lot of League of Legends for people to be watching and playing. It's going to be real great fun. World's coming up as well. Can't wait for all that. But we are done for this evening. My name is Julian Paige Been joined by Minkuel Trent. Oh, man. Did I butcher it? Did I?
It's a Trent.
Trent. Oh, man.
It's okay.
Minkuel Trent from Legacy Esports. It's been so great, guys. Thank you so much. But we are done for now, guys. Your Challenger Qualified Champions, YSC. And we'll see you later.
Hey, beautiful.
We still on for dinner?
Time for 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, right?
How about 8:30 at the vegan place?
Actually, I'm in the mood for barbecue.
Sounds good.
Take a call and stay in the game. With the Plantronics rig, headset, and mixer, life comes to games like never before.